One night, Anna is alone in her bedroom, quietly playing with an old key. Suddenly, she hears an unsettling noise coming from the darkness outside. Alarmed, she looks toward the source, only to realize it's her brother, Conrad, sitting outdoors. He invites her to come join him, but Anna sharply refuses. The truth is that Anna hasn't stepped outside the house in over 10 years due to a severe anxiety disorder. The following morning, Conrad is joined by his lawyer, Charlotte, who has come to discuss Conrad's will and what Anna will inherit after his death. Anna, however, is emotionally unprepared for that conversation and shuts it down. Shortly after, we meet Dan, a delivery driver who brings food to the house every morning. Aside from Conrad, Dan is the only person Anna genuinely enjoys talking to. He's kind, patient, and over time has earned her trust and affection. While Anna and Dan are talking, a loud thud suddenly echoes from Conrad's room. Anna rushes in and finds her brother in distress, helping him back onto the bed. The siblings spend the rest of the day together, talking about various things. Conrad eventually brings up their father and asks Anna to forgive him. This suggestion only angers her, and the conversation becomes tense. Several hours later, Anna is jolted awake by Conrad's medical alarm. She rushes to his room and discovers that he has died. Although she knew this moment would eventually come, nothing could have prepared her for the reality of losing her brother. After the paramedics remove Conrad's body, Anna methodically cleans the house and throws away all of his medication. At her lowest point, Dan arrives and comforts her, offering his shoulder as she breaks down. He gently suggests that she sell the house and start fresh somewhere else, but Anna refuses. She's far too emotionally attached to the place to leave it. During their conversation, Dan admits that he wants to leave town but lacks the money to do so. Anna abruptly walks away, only to return moments later with a bag full of cash, insisting that he take it and build a better life for himself. Despite her persistence, Dan refuses. The next day is Conrad's funeral. Anna prepares to attend, determined to say goodbye, but at the last moment her anxiety overwhelms her. Unable to step outside, she stays home, spiraling in her thoughts. Suddenly, a car pulls up outside the house. 3 men get out and peer through the windows, assuming the house is empty and ripe for robbery. Panicked, Anna considers calling for help, but before she can act, one of the men, JP, breaks into the house through the back door, allowing his brother Vance and their friend Perry inside. JP is clearly the leader of the group. The men believe Anna is at the funeral, but the sound of a kettle gives away her presence. Anna immediately runs upstairs as the men begin searching the house. Perry finds her hiding in the bathroom, forcing her to flee downstairs. Anna reaches the front door. Her escape is right there, but she freezes, paralyzed by her anxiety. JP calmly shuts the door and asks why she didn't run. He points out that she also had the chance to call the police but didn't. Anna admits that she's stupid, which confuses them, but they quickly move on, focusing on finding the money they believe is hidden in the house. JP and Vance continue searching while Perry keeps watch over Anna. She explains her anxiety and reveals that she hasn't left the house in more than a decade. Perry, intrigued and cruelly curious, decides to test her claim by dragging her outside. The shock causes Anna to faint. When JP tries to help her, she wets herself in fear. JP tells Vance to take her upstairs, clean her up, and change her clothes while he and Perry search for the money. JP and Perry discover a basement containing 2 doors without handles. The doors clearly conceal something important, but they are impossible to open. It's obvious that Conrad, or Anna, intended to keep whatever's inside hidden. Meanwhile, Vance struggles to help Anna change. He's the weakest and most hesitant of the 3, clearly uncomfortable with hurting her. Anna senses this and tries to manipulate him into helping her escape. Though she nearly succeeds, Vance realizes what she's doing and reacts angrily, forcing her to change more aggressively. Before things go further, Dan suddenly arrives. He attended Conrad's funeral and came to check on Anna after noticing she wasn't there. Anna feels relieved, believing help has finally arrived, until Dan casually calls Vance by name. Anna is horrified as she realizes Dan knows the robbers. Panicking, she runs and hides. JP and Perry confront Dan and knock him unconscious, revealing that Dan is not actually part of the robbery. While searching for Anna, Perry grows impatient and threatens to kill her pet bird if she doesn't come out. Anna stays hidden, and Perry brutally kills the bird with a hammer. Dan wakes up shortly after, but JP restrains him and forces him onto the couch. While the robbers are distracted, Anna sneaks into the bathroom but accidentally makes noise. Vance nearly catches her, but Anna stabs him in the neck, killing him instantly. JP and Perry sense something is wrong when Vance doesn't respond. They follow the sound of Anna dragging the body and find Vance dead in the basement. JP cradles his brother's body, sobbing and vowing revenge. At that moment, the robbery turns personal. Perry spots Anna hiding behind a door, but she slams it shut before he can reach her. She retrieves the old key from earlier and uses it to open a concealed control panel. Inside is a lever. She pulls it, causing the basement stairs to retract, trapping JP and Perry below. Anna checks to ensure they can't escape. Time passes as the men try unsuccessfully to break out. Dan confesses that he told Vance about the money the day before, never imagining it would lead to this. He feels deeply guilty. Anna refuses to untie him and instead asks about Conrad's funeral. After listening, she reflects on what Conrad would have done. Then, without hesitation, she breaks Dan's finger and drags him to the edge of the basement opening. She orders him to prove his innocence by jumping down. When he refuses, she pushes him in herself. Dan lands badly, dislocating his knee and crying out in pain. Anna watches the basement through a hidden surveillance cabinet. Later, JP begins torturing Dan to provoke sympathy from Anna. She coldly instructs them to use the first aid kit stored behind one of the locked basement doors. This time, JP can open it because Anna changes the settings upstairs, but as soon as he enters, she locks him inside. JP realizes the room looks identical to another upstairs. Meanwhile, Perry manages to break into the second locked room and finds a freezer filled with dead bodies. Horrified, he runs upstairs and confronts Anna. Knowing he's seen too much, she strikes him with a hammer. Though he tries to strangle her, he bleeds out and dies. Dan reaches the second room and sees the bodies, realizing the truth. Around the same time, Charlotte arrives to check on Anna after failing to reach her by phone. Anna pretends everything is fine and dismisses the noise from the basement. Charlotte leaves reassured. Anna then locks Dan inside a cupboard that leads into the room where JP is trapped. The room contains a one-way mirror. JP figures this out and tries to break it, but Anna explains it's bulletproof. She forces him to wear a shirt from a cupboard, revealing that she and Conrad used to lure registered sex offenders into the house, drug them, and torture them. Conrad would enter through the cupboard while Anna watched through the mirror. JP demands to know why. Anna reveals that their father sexually abused her throughout her childhood. One day, Conrad strangled their father to death, becoming her savior. Since then, they've continued killing offenders, believing it was justice. JP accuses them of being psychopaths who became addicted to killing. Enraged, Anna gives Dan a gun and orders him to kill JP. JP disarms Dan and nearly shoots him, but Anna stops him, insisting he must die for his sins. JP hesitates, regains control, and is about to kill Dan when Anna shoots him first. Afterward, JP helps Dan inside before turning back, consumed by vengeance. Dan tries to reason with him but is punched. JP returns and pours gasoline around the house. Anna offers him the bag of money to leave, but he attacks her instead. She escapes upstairs, but JP catches her and threatens to assault her, forcing her to relive her trauma. The fact that he's wearing her father's shirt makes it unbearable. Dan arrives at the last moment. Using the distraction, Anna shoots JP dead. Silence follows. Dan leaves without a word. Anna sits alone before finally stepping outside for the first time in years, free of her anxiety. In the final scene, she sets the house on fire and walks away. Your support means everything to us, so don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to stay connected.